Hello, my loves. Welcome to this episode. I'm going to be talking today about how we manifest absolutely anything that you desire, but starting with the first step that is often overlooked or confused in a way. So it sounds overly simplistic, but the first thing that we want to do whenever we want to manifest, whenever we want to attract something new into our lives, whenever we want to create something different in our reality, we must know what it is that we want. And I hear people a lot of the time say, well, I don't know what I want. And I don't know what it's going to look like. And, I might want a new job, but I don't know what that job is. And they don't know the specifics of it. So I want to talk around this today because it is really, really important. And if you can imagine that whenever we are setting an intention, whenever we are specifically asking for something that we want to manifest, that we want to change, that we want to cultivate, that we want to create, it's almost like you're putting an order in with Amazon. So you've gone to, creator.com, you've gone to universe.com and you're placing your order. If you don't know what it is that you want to order, the warehouse is going to get really confused as to how to deliver it for you. Make sense? So we want to know what we want. And if you are somebody who's like, I don't know what I want, I don't know what I want, I just want something, I just want to feel better, then you're already halfway there. Because what we really want to do is start with the feelings first. And I say this to all of my clients, whatever we are working on, goal setting, manifesting, whatever it is, we want to start with the feeling because when we want to change something in our lives, it's either because we want to change a behavior and how we're acting, how we're showing up, or because we want to feel differently. That's it. So if we can start with the feelings first off, this can actually help you figure out what it is that you want and check that the thing that you think you want is actually going to help you feel the way that you want to feel. But also, this helps because there might be something better than what you are assuming is the answer. But also, if we neglect the feeling, it's going to make it tricky when we get further down the line and we want to adjust our frequency to match. But also, the things that we think we want are often not it. And they're not actually going to make us feel the way that we think that they will. So we want to start with the feeling first. So how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel day to day? When you first wake up in the morning, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel as you start your working day? How do you want to feel when you're interacting with people in your world? How do you want to feel every time that you eat and you nourish yourself? How do you want to feel when you're socializing, when you're relaxing, when you're connecting with loved ones? How do you want to feel when you go to bed at night? Think about all the ways that you would love to feel, what emotions you want to experience throughout your day, and try and go as deep as you can with this. There are a ton of resources online, like the emotional wheel, deeper emotional triggers, and things that you can look at just to get almost like your emotional vocabulary a little bit more advanced. So we're not just saying, I want to feel happy. We know you want to feel happy. Everyone wants to feel happy. Can you go deeper than that? What is happiness to you? Because again, if you remember that this is going to be like an order that you're placing on Amazon, on universe.com, then happy could look different for everybody. So we want to get as detailed as we can with the feeling. Okay. And this is going to help you when you then move on because you'll be able to actually tap into these feelings as well. So when you're writing these feelings down, check that they actually do evoke some sort of emotion in you. If you can write them down and you don't feel anything, then chances are that this is also not how you actually want to feel. This is how you have been told that you should feel or things that we should want to experience. So take as long as you need with this and really, really feel into the feelings. Something that we're often told to do the exact opposite of, right? So it can feel a little bit strange in that sense. But how do you really want to feel each and every day? Consistent feelings. What are they? Now, this will then, in turn, hopefully, give you more of an idea of what it is that you want. If it doesn't, that's okay. You can stick with the feelings. But if this has given you some ideas, some insights, you might then be thinking, ooh, that job that I said I wanted, actually, it's not going to make me feel this way. And I've seen this a lot, especially with entrepreneurs, but also with those that are kind of staying in the corporate world and they want to feel a certain way. They want to feel relaxed. They want to feel in control. They want to feel like they are trustworthy, that they are taking on responsibility. But actually, they then get a certain job role or a promotion, and it makes them feel the opposite. It makes them feel under pressure. It makes them feel like they're not good enough. It makes them feel like they're constantly being watched, constantly being judged and assessed for the level of work that they produce. And it's the opposite of how they want it to feel. And this can happen in entrepreneurship as well. So in the business sense, when I see this, it's because people say they want the freedom. They want to have all the time in the world to do whatever they please with it. And then when they get that, they feel like something's missing and they don't know what to do with themselves because actually they want to feel fulfilled. They want to feel like they are someone who is credible, who is successful. They want to feel like they're making a difference. But if you just have empty time and you're not utilizing it in the most fulfilling or productive way for you, then you're not going to feel that way. So, this will hopefully give you some insights as to what it is that you want. Now, something that does also stop people with this going, oh, I don't know what it is, don't know what it is that I want, is because you're actually too scared to admit it. And if you can't even admit it to yourself, how are you going to place the order? How are you going to even request it? And if you can't even request it, how on earth are you going to receive it and then be able to hold it? And this is where the ego can come in and it can, almost put your desire and your goal on a pedestal and make it feel like it's so far away from you. So the next thing I want you to do is just take all your desires off a pedestal, all your goals off a pedestal. It is no bigger than you or I. Law of divine oneness, right? We are all connected. Everything is divinely connected. Nothing is more superior than another. And that includes your goals and your intentions. And just ask yourself, what if this was actually possible? What if I could have this most amazing relationship? What if I could meet my soulmate this week? What if I secured that promotion? What if I started that business? See what comes up for you. Play with the potential and the law of potentiality, the law of possibility. You have 1,000,000,001 possibilities available to you at any given time. There are 1,000,000,001 different timelines running right now. There's a version of you that already has these desires. So take them off the pedestal and then see if you know what you want. Because anything is possible. You have infinite potential. So see if that helps. Another great question that I love to ask is why not? Why can I not have that thing? Why not? Why can I not have a business? Why not? Why could I not sell out this week? Why could I not write a best-selling book? Why not? And play with that one. And if things do come up for you when you ask why not, then that's brilliant because that takes you into clearing out the conflicts and the clutter. That's brilliant. But a lot of the time, nothing will come up because your soul knows there is no real reason why not. So this is your first step. This is getting really clear on what you want that order to be, how you want this to feel when it arrives for you. And the next step that you can start to play with is to already feel it and see it as if it is already yours, because it is. And this leads you towards timeline jumping. It leads you towards quantum leaping. And you can go as deep as you want to with this. If you're not a visual person, then I appreciate that this can sometimes be challenging. But you can visualize this as though you are watching a film. You can see this New reality that you desire playing out as though you are watching a movie and you're seeing it from other people's perspectives. Some people find that a little bit easier. If you can, it can be a little bit more powerful to actually see yourself stepping into that version of you, stepping into that body, almost like playing fancy dress and playing dress up. You're stepping into that version of you and you're seeing the reality through their eyes and through their body and feeling it through their body. That can be even more powerful. And this is where vision boards can be a helpful tool because they can give you those visual reminders. And the pictures that you have on your vision board, you can almost immerse yourself in. So you jump into that picture and play it out. That's the part of using a vision board that people often miss. They make this beautiful, gorgeous, wonderfully aesthetically pleasing board and then never actually utilize it. But one of the easiest ways you can utilize it is by focusing on one image at a time and immersing yourself in it. So seeing it is one thing, feeling it is another, because this is going to start to adjust your frequency. The more you can do this, the better. You are entangling with the quantum field as you do this. You are entangling with the frequency of your desire. You are feeling that deep success. You are feeling accomplished. You are feeling content. You are feeling fulfilled. You are feeling safe. You are feeling relaxed. All these wonderful, juicy things that you identified first off. You want to feel them as many times a day as you can. And if you're not a visual person, then you can try and do this by maybe creating yourself an audio track where you record how you want to feel. Maybe you talk yourself through this ideal day, or you can write it down too. Script out your ideal day. If you are someone that loves reading and writing, you might really like that. And you know, like when you read a book and you start to feel what the characters feel, it's the same thing. You're just writing your own book. You're writing your own chapter. So there's multiple ways that you can do this, but we want to make sure that you're feeling it as if it is already yours. Bring in all your senses, think about what you can see, of course, but also what you can feel on your skin, on your body, what you can taste, what you can smell, what can you touch, what can you hear. Really immerse yourself in that reality. And this will adjust your frequency beautifully. And with practice, you can access this in moments. So you could do this every single hour just by taking out like 30 seconds and entangling with that quantum, entangling with the frequency of your desire. This is why things like gratitude practices work really effectively as well, because they naturally elevate your state. And chances are, when you're feeling gratitude for your most favorite thing, your most wonderful memory, the most amazing thing that you ever manifested, that you ever created in this lifetime, chances are it brings up very similar feelings. Now, the other thing that you can do, and this is the last thing that I will leave you with for this particular episode, is you can also do things physically. So, all those feelings that you identified, can you access them now? Is there anything else that you do in your day-to-day life that gives you the same feelings? What else makes you feel that success? What else makes you feel respected? What else makes you feel content? What else makes you feel luxurious and abundant? Can you do more of those activities each and every day? Can you drop them in? One of my favorite ones when I was manifesting a relationship and manifesting my soulmate, which I have obviously now married, which is super wonderful and exciting. But one of the things I love to do was I would watch rom-coms. And I know for a lot of people, this had like the opposite effect because it was like, ugh, it's just so predictable and that would never happen in real life. And ugh, it's so sickly. But I love comedy for one, so I would watch the most ridiculous ones that I could find. But also, as predictable and as cheesy as they are, they really heighten the frequency of love because they may almost make it like over the top, cheesy, romantic love. And I'm smiling right now as I'm saying this because I can picture it and it does elevate your frequency. And even though it's not real and it's a movie, it still reminds you of the possibility. and the potential. If actors can create that level of chemistry and portray that amount of love and connection, then surely we can experience that as real humans as well. Books might do it for you also. So find your ways. It could be music, it could be speaking with a certain friend that always elevates your frequency. It could be diving into your learning, your own self-development, your personal growth, your spiritual connection, anything that's going to replicate those feelings for you. Will again, just like your visualization activities, it will entangle you in the frequency of your desire. And the more you do this as well, the more you will get clearer on what it is that you want. And I just want to say that you can also change your order, because this is something that people almost panic about. That's like, oh, well, what if I manifest the wrong thing? Or what if I change my mind? You're allowed. You are allowed to change your mind. And if something arrives and you're like, no, that's not quite what I wanted, return it. You can return it and ask for something else. And always remember, whenever you are manifesting, whenever you're placing your order, it is this or something better. If the universe goes, I see what you want and I see how you want to feel, but this is playing way too small, let me send you an upgraded version, then that's exactly what's going to play out. So long as your frequency is a match, you're going to receive it. That delivery is going to come through. We don't need to check on it. We don't need to log on to our account and keep going, where is it? Where is it? Tracking the delivery. Where is it? Where is it? We trust, we detach. We've placed our order. It has been sent. We are doing our thing as a human to align with it, to get ready to receive, to open the door for the delivery to come in. We detach. We trust that the universe is going to deliver. So these are your starting steps for the process. And this is just the process that I use. There are a million and one ways that you can manifest because you're doing it already. You're doing it 24/7 anyway. All we are doing here and in the work that I do with my clients is making it more intentional, making it more conscious, getting your human on board with it, and making sure that we clear whatever's in the way. So it gets to be easier, it gets to be quicker, it gets to be easy and fun and enjoyable and intentional. And that is what we're here for, right? So I would love to know your thoughts on this episode. If you have any requests for future episodes as well, please do let me know. I would love to hear from you. I love knowing what my listeners think and what you find valuable. So please do share in the comments, and I will see you on the next episode.